So what a month April was in the Coffee to 100k challenge on eToro. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say Coffee to 100k, in a previous video we did the simple math that one simple Starbucks coffee per day can add up to $180 per month. We're going to then take that $180 and invest it into stocks and other investments and hopefully reach that lucrative $100,000 in the near future. There's a full playlist on this so you can go and check out the progress. We're currently going to be reviewing the month of April. Now, in full disclosure, I do have 12 years in the finance and wealth management sector, but this is not financial advice. You should do your own due diligence when it comes to making any investment decision. If you are new here, please do consider subscribing and turning on the bell and help me feed a baby by making sure that like button is turned blue. If you want to support the channel, there's some very cool exclusive perks down on the Patreon link in the description. And if you want to get free lifetime access to our investing chat room, you can check out eToro on the pinned comment, sign up, deposit, make a trade, and you get access to that chat room absolutely free for life. Now, coming to the month of April on eToro, again, you can go on eToro, it's fully public profile, you can go and check it out, and you can actually even copy this if you want to join in the fun. But it was a bit of an inside month. We actually, I think, lost about 0.7%, which sort of writes off a bit of the gains from the previous inside month. But that said, we did make some massive changes to this portfolio. As I mentioned in the original Coffee to 100k video, I will be adding $180 a month. And if I do some sort of flips, side hustles, or even tax returns, I'll be adding that to this portfolio also. Now, lucky for me, I got quite a few tax write-offs last year and I added in around about $1,700, which is legitimately my tax returns, and I'm considering doing a video on it. I'm just trying to find out what the legal obligations are of me sharing this information on YouTube. But adding this amount was around about 30 to 40% of the total account, and we needed to allocate it semi-fast because I want to make sure my copy traders don't freak the hell out when they see this massive amount of money coming into the account. So I allocated it as best as I could, and I'm going to go through some of them trades in just a second. But because of this, of course, we lost a few averages, and then the market was a bit inside. I mean, the SPY actually did quite well, up around about 5% for April, and we finished pretty much flat. Could have been better, but again, given the fact that in the middle of the month we did add this money, it makes sense that it was an inside month. Now, coming on to the strategy with this portfolio going forward in the next year or two, I'm going to slowly start moving into more defensive plays. Plays that should do well in a zombie apocalypse. I think that we will be moving into a market correction or even a big bear market / maybe even a big recession in the near future. The US is printing way too much money and someone's got to pay the piper sooner or later. We've also racked up a massive bill worldwide in the last 18 months, and I think that needs to be paid at some time. So you'll see with some of these trades that I'm moving into sort of zombie mode, what I call it, and preparing for the apocalypse. That said, I do still have some of what I call speculation and hype stocks and some growth stocks, but we are slowly moving into defensive plays. And if you're copying that, just bear in mind that it's going to be a slow curve, but if it does work out and you agree with my thesis, when a market crash does come, we should massively see the dividend. Now, the reason most people are probably here and still watching is they want to see what I've been buying last month in the Coffee to 100k challenge. Bit of a spoiler alert in the next video, so make sure you've got that bell turned on. I am going to be discussing two stocks I added to my main portfolio, and I am going to be scaling into very, very heavily. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you've subscribed and turned on the bell. And of course, if you're feeling extra kinky, make sure that like button is turned blue. Now, coming on to the buys, we have ticker symbol BA, Boeing, and there's quite a few reasons why I like this company. First thing is I still think it's quite undervalued. I think given the fact that people are going to start flying soon, we should see some short-term spikes in terms of hype when countries start reopening. So on that itself, it's probably worth a short-term buy. But with Boeing BA, I am looking more long-term. I actually wish this stock would fall 50% so I can continue scaling in and hold this for the next 5 to 10 years, because I think BA moving into the space sector, and if you don't know already, I'm a big space sector fan, in the long run, and I'm not talking about buying Virgin Galactic stock for the short term, I'm talking 5, 10 plus years, I think the space sector is going to be huge. Now, I'm not going to ramble too much about Boeing, but they are moving into that sector as well. They've got some exclusive partnerships there And I think that being exposed to some more space in a long-term portfolio makes perfect sense. Now, you've probably noticed now every single month I'm buying into gold very, very slowly. Again, coming to that defensive approach, I want to start slowly scaling into gold. The trade is pretty much green or red every different day, but not by much. I don't even think we've broke a percent up or down on this symbol, but having some exposure to this and having no fees inside it, it just makes sense to me, and I'm going to continue scaling up in this position because if the markets do crash tomorrow, we should see a decent gain in gold, and that should definitely help lower the blow when the market does correct. Now, we have a new ticker, and I actually bought this in my main portfolio as well. When a zombie apocalypse does come, people are still going to need their Rice Krispies and cornflakes. This got me thinking, and I thought, what better company to provide that than Kellogg's? Now, joking aside, Kellogg's is actually a great company, and I do think they're somewhat undervalued right now. I think that people will still be buying cereal in a crash or recession, and throwing the fact that Kellogg's actually has a good dividend history, I think Kellogg's is actually a strong company to consider when it comes to having a defensive portfolio. So I've slowly started scaling into Kellogg's too. And again, if we get no movement in it or even movement to the downside, I'm getting a dividend while I wait this plan to play out. A new position as well is Kinder Morgan, a energy and oil play. I'm not going to talk too much on that because I'm really considering making a video on it, but I'm very excited about this stock. If you want to know more on Kinder Morgan, let me know down in the comments and I'll sure give it a dirty STI. And if you're new here, STI stands for Stock Ticker Inspection, not what you are thinking about, you dirty minded person. Now, one of my favorite tickers right now in terms of value, if not the favorite, is Rolls-Royce. I've done a video on this and I still stand by what I said. We've got space, we've got the aviation industry opening up soon. But more importantly, we've got a very undervalued company. And if you want to know more on my reasoning behind Rolls-Royce and some more updates, again, let me know down in the comments because it's a company I'm very passionate about and I'm more than happy to have discussions on it. Another big thing with Rolls-Royce as well is they did cut their dividend recently. And I think when that dividend comes back, it's a good opportunity to start getting some shares at a cheap discount. So when the dividend does come back, and trust me, it will come back at some point, and well, it's going to pay dividends for being patient. So Rolls-Royce is definitely a ticker everybody should be looking at if you're looking at a long-term value play, in my humble opinion, not financial advice. And moving on to the last stock before I give you my thoughts and thesis is Procter & Gamble. Now, Procter & Gamble is a cyclical type of stock that I do love trading, and I love their dividends. But Procter & Gamble, again, I think is going to be a safe bet in a recession. It's going to get its dividends, and it's a good company you can scale into. I've started scaling into it, but I don't think it's going to be one of the main stocks I allocate to in full disclosure. I think I picked up some good value shares, and let's see how that one plays out. Now, if you are copying me on eToro, drop me your eToro name down in the comments. I'd love to see you guys down there and have some engagement with you. Thank you very much for putting your trust in me in terms of copying the portfolio itself, and I am doing my best for you. I know we've had 2 inside months, but trust me, things will turn around very soon, and in a market crash, you will see how well we do. But that said, we're definitely not down and out, and you should be looking to buy the dip, in my opinion. But of course, I'm biased. This is my portfolio, so make sure you do your own due diligence. But I do think we're going to be coming to bumpy times, and if you're not copying me and you're building your own portfolio, my advice would be is have some more exposure to utilities, energy, and of course consumer cycle goods. Things like Walmart, Tesco are definitely good additions to your portfolio right now, and I think that they will do well in the long term. I think the new investor, especially that's come into the market since the last recession, will also be looking at these type of companies in terms of defense, so we might not even get a big dip on companies like Walmart, because it's quite a good stable company. But that's just my thoughts. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on these trades. Let me know down in the comments. If you're looking for a code word, we haven't done that in a hell of a long time. The code word for this video is loser, because last month I was a loser of 0.7%. That's it from me. Take care, be safe. LWT trading on eToro. Check out the Patreon links and sign up on eToro on the pinned comment. Way too much for you to do there. If you don't know what to do and you're panicking, just hit that like button. See you in the next one. Take care. Peace.